Hello everyone. So today we will discuss the question and answers of your English textbook of chapter 1. This is Mellidora. So without a further delay, let's get started. So the first is understanding the text. A, complete the flowchart. So there are two events here. So I will tell you one by one. The prince was looking for a girl who laughed when others cried. A carriage carrying 6 ladies turned over and they all fell into a ditch. The other ladies wept because they were hurt, muddy, and embarrassed. Mellidora laughed because she found the situation funny and saw humor in it. This shows she could find joy even in difficult situations. So, event number 2, cried when others laughed. An old woman fell down, her cake was spoiled, and she was upset and angry. Everyone laughed at her because she looked comical as she shouted in anger. Mellidora cried because she felt empathy for the old woman's distress. This shows she was compassionate and caring towards the others' feelings. So the next is B. Answer these questions. 1. Why did the prince go to his aunt? The answer is the prince went to his aunt to seek advice on how to choose a wife. He valued her wisdom and wanted her guidance on finding the right person to marry. Number 2. Why were the 5 ladies in Mellidora's carriage weeping? Was it natural for them to be upset? Answer. The 5 ladies were weeping because they had fallen into a muddy ditch after their carriage turned over. They were hurt, embarrassed, and their clothes were dirty and disheveled. It was natural for them to be upset as the situation was uncomfortable and humiliating. Question number 3. But she laughed all the same. Para 8. A. Who was laughing and why? Mellidora was laughing. She found the situation funny despite being covered in mud and having fallen into the ditch. She saw the humor in how ridiculous they all looked. Number B. Why does the line say, but she laughed? Answer. The line emphasizes that the Mellidora's reaction was different from the others. While everyone else was crying or upset, she chose to laugh, showing her unique perspective and ability to find joy in every difficult situation. Question number C. How do you think the prince felt when she saw her laughing? Answer. The prince likely felt surprised and intrigued by Mellidora's reaction. Her laughter in such situation would have stood out to him, especially since he was looking for someone who could laugh when others cried, as per his aunt's advice. Question number 4. One of the king's servants pushed her out of the way. Does this mean that the old woman's cake was spoiled on purpose? Explain. The answer is the cake was not spoiled on purpose. The servant pushing the old woman out of the way was likely an accident or a result of the chaos in the courtyard. The servant may not have intended to cause her to trip and drop her cake. Question number 5. The old woman sounds like an ordinary person rather than someone very important. Would you agree? And why? Answer. Yes, the old woman sounds like an ordinary person. She is described as carrying a basket of eggs and a cake, and she gets confused and upset in the bustling courtyard. Her actions and reactions are relatable and human and showing she is not someone of high status or importance. Question number B. How did the royal family treat the old woman? Which para tells you this? Answer. The royal family treated the old man kindly. Para 24 states that she was taken to the king's son and was so kindly received that she forgot all her troubles. This shows that despite of her ordinary status, She was treated with compassion and respect. Question number 6. He went to consult his aunt, who was a wise woman. Do you think that the prince's aunt was indeed a wise woman? If yes, then explain. Answer. Yes, the prince's aunt was indeed a wise woman. Her advice to the prince to choose a girl who laughs when others cry and cries when others laugh proved to be insightful. This advice helped the prince to find Mellidora, who demonstrated these qualities and turned out to be a compassionate and kind-hearted person. The outcome of their marriage being happy further validates their wisdom of her fresh advice. Appreciating the text. So I have to take the elements that make the story similar to a fairy tale and which is not. So I have to make it cross. Question number A. Some of the characters are princes and kings. This is tick. Question number B. The story includes magical events and characters. Cross. The story does not feature any magical events or characters. Question number C. The story is about a brave prince rescuing a princess. Cross. Because the story is about a prince finding a wife, not rescuing a princess. Question number D. The story begins in the style of many fairy tales in the first few words. It is tick because it starts with there was once a young prince. Question number E. The story ends in the style of many fairy tales, last few words. This is tick because it ends with they got married very soon and lived happily ever after. Question number F. The story is about going in search of someone or something with special qualities. This is tick because the prince seeks a girl who laughs when others cry and cries when others laugh. So the next step is the story ends with a happy note. Complete this table to explain. So there are few characters here and why are they happy? So number 1A. So the prince is happy because he found Mellidora, who matched his aunt's advice and they got married. Number B, Mellidora. She is happy because he married the prince whom she loved and they lived happily together. Number C, the old woman. She is happy because she was kindly received by the king's son and forget all the troubles. So now next discuss some extra questions which you can see in your text while reading this Mellidora story. So question number 1. What does the word confidence mean in para 4? Answer. In para 4, the confidence means the prince had trust or faith in his aunt's wisdom and advice. He believed that her guidance was reliable and worth following. Question number 2. Why do you think the lady is laughing in para 8? Answer. The lady is laughing because she finds the situation humorous despite being covered in mud and having fallen into a ditch. She sees the funny side of it and laughs at how ridiculous they all must look. Question number 3. In para 14, the prince decides to wait because he is nervous or wise or uncertain. Answer. In para 14, the prince decided to wait because he is wise. He wants to ensure he follows his aunt's advice fully and does not rush into a decision. He also thinks it might seem strange to propose so soon. Question number 4. What does para 16 tell us about how widely the king's son's birthday was celebrated? Name an event or occasion which is celebrated in our country by all sections of our society. Answer. In para 16 tells us that the king's son's birthday was being celebrated widely as even an old man was bringing a special cake to honor him. This shows that the event was significant and involved people from different sections of the society. So the answer of the next question is the example of widely celebrated event in India is Diwali. It is a festival of lights that symbolize the victory of good over evil and is celebrated with great enthusiasm across the country. Question number 5. What does the para 22 tell you about the prince? So in para 82, shows that the prince compassionate and observant. He notices Mellidora's kindness towards the old woman and is moved by her gentle and caring nature. This reveals his appreciation for empathy and goodness in others.